Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Vine and welcome to episode 1 of my new TW fantasy book and save, The Summer of Punk. Yes, we're going to book Summer of Punk from Money in the Bank to Survivor Series. Obviously we're going to, and we're going to book a bit of SmackDown and everything else in between the Summer of Punk as well. So if you want to make sure you don't miss any of that kind of stuff, please like and subscribe, that would be really appreciated. If you want to know kind of how this is all going to work, there's a link to my introduction video that was out for a couple of weeks ago. So if you want to see where this save's going to go and check that out, give that a comment and like as well. So so obviously we're going to kick this off with, as we did in season 1, with rebooking Money in the Bank 2011. Obviously I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. Probably for the fact that obviously little things I need to change to make my stories going through this series work. But it's going to be little tweaks. It's not going to be anything too crazy. Obviously, this is Money in the Bank 2011 is known for CM Punk versus John Cena. But to be fair, it had a lot of good matches in it as well. We had Christian versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. We had both of the men's, the SmackDown and Raw Money in the Bank matches that were really cool. So obviously we've got that as well. So it actually was a lot of, it's going to be on for the main event, but it did have a lot of, it was actually a really solid pay-per-view. But just the main event has always elevated it to be, cult-like, and obviously loved, one of the best pay-per-views I've ever done. So I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. So, but yes, obviously it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to show you guys. I've been sitting on this for a while, so I'm interested to see what you think of my booking. Obviously I look forward to seeing what you guys think of my fantasy booking in general, because I do appreciate your opinions on it, because it really would be cool to find out if you think I'm doing right, you're doing wrong, are you enjoying it, what you're not enjoying, that'd be great. So yes, without further ado, let's dive straight into this, and let's go and rebook Money in the Bank 2011. So let's go. So we kick off Money in the Bank with kind of a pre-show match. Obviously, had to kind of like change this because obviously Heath Slater got injured during a kind of had to do audio booking build up to get into this Money in the Bank, because they didn't start the Money in the Bank straight pay-per-view right here, so I had to do a bit of tweaking. He got injured, so I had to be a bit creative what I did. So obviously I did a kind of qualifying match for the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcase match with obviously so it was Tyson Kidd that I really want to book in this save, and Ted DiBiase, and it got a good score, 56. I'm happy with that. Both got 61, so it should probably get a higher rating. A good 10-minute match. Obviously, Tyson Kidd wins with a cold blue. Don't think he ever had a finisher like that, but hey, this game's very strange. So 61 for both performance-wise. Both got great chemistry. Might have to remember that in the future. And announcing equality lifted the match. So 56, good stuff. So that means that Tyson Kidd's going to be in the SmackDown Money in the Bank match. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of score he gets in that match as well. So obviously then we go to the actual start of the show. And we go backstage with John Cena and Vince McMahon talking about his kind of consequences for yet again, kind of reminding him if he loses tonight to CM Punk in the main event. So let's have a look. Again, look at 84. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I'm not used to having high scores because obviously when I done my season 1, I don't think we ever got to these kind of scores. It was very rare. So, but yeah, 84 here. Obviously, we got John Cena was a real star in this segment. Vince McMahon performed poorly. John Cena, basically Vince done bad, John Cena done good. But, that's the way it is. But yes, the way I wanted to kind of do this is kind of a reminder is a situation of, Vince kind of saying, if you lose tonight, you're fired. You make sure you win. CM Punk cannot walk out with this Chicago with that WWE Championship. He'll be embarrassing me, the company, and it would just ruin everything type situation. And I kind of like the idea that basically like Cena just says nothing and holds his title. And he's not listening because he knows he's confident in himself he's going to win. But I like the idea of Vince kind of like alluding that he's going to do anything he can to make sure. So it's kind of more that he's got sinister plans in mind maybe tonight in the main event that we obviously know what happened, but I want to make it more clear in this. So, so 84, good start. So obviously, then we go to the first Money in the Bank match of the evening, and obviously the first match on the card. Obviously, the SmackDown Money in the Bank match with obviously 7 competitors. Yeah, 7 competitors. With Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, Heath Slater but now it's Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel, Kane, Sin Cara, Sheamus, and Wade Barrett, all fighting to become Mr. Money in the Bank on the SmackDown side. And I'm intrigued to see what the score is, because I had to create a Money in the Bank type match, so it might not do great, but let's find out. So, obviously, for the first match, is Danny Bryan going to win it, or is somebody else going to win it? Let's find out. Let's go. So the winner of the SmackDown Money in the Bank match is, for 41, not great, is, yes, Danny Bryan. Yeah, I was always going to put Danny Bryan to win it because it makes sense then, and it makes sense now that he wins it, basically. But yes, obviously, we high score, Danny Bryan 74, great stuff. A lot of 72 by Sheamus, very good there. Obviously, got Kane being off his game, Sin Cara off his game. Not surprising. Sin Cara, I mean, a bit surprising, but Kane, it's not his kind of match, really, so not surprising there. So, yes, a good score, 61s, 59s, good solid scores. It's just I think there's just some people off their game. What else got it off? Made it get like bad. Poor type of match, crowd had no interest in it. I would disagree, but, I'm not really bothered by the score, really. I was hoping to get at least a 50 or 60, but it's fine. It's a new type match, so it's solid. Maybe length was too much. We'll find out. But yes, obviously, this had all the stuff. Obviously, I still have the Sheamus Sin Cara kind of ladder, but was it situation where I think injured Sin Cara in real life? I think this was this match, so had that. A lot of, bent ladders in half, a lot of usual ladders as you expect, but the final two, obviously Danny Bryan and Cody Rhodes, fighting on top of that ladder. They fall down. Danny Bryan gets a kick to the face. Kicks Cody Rhodes. He goes down. Danny Bryan holds the briefcase. He is SmackDown Mr. Money in the Bank. And I've got some big plans for him. I'm booking it a little bit different than they did. And I'm going to be interested to see what happens score-wise and see if my plans and you guys like my plans. So, but yeah, Danny Bryan is your Money in the Bank. Didn't change that one bit. But obviously, he means he has a shot to go against the World Heavyweight Champion. That is watching backstage, and that's where we're going to go to next. With him talking about kind of intrigued by another opponent to take his title from him, and also talking about his big match against Christian later in the evening. And that would get a 71. Very good. I'm pretty happy with that. Solid score there. Yeah, I like the idea of basically, Randy on looking at the screen, kind of like smile, impressed, like, okay, I see where this is going. With Danny Bryan, and then obviously get interviewed with Christian, saying that obviously Christian's going to use everything he can to get that title off him. He would respect that, because for many years, Randy Orton, as we know, done every dirty trick in the book to try and become champion and keep that championship. Legacy, anyone? That kind of stuff. But I like the idea. Basically, he's going to go and say, well, because it's not going to happen. Like, you try every trick in the book. I know every trick in the book. It's not good for you. But that's I don't believe in that anymore. It's not good for ego, and in the long run, it doesn't work out. So, and he's going to try everything in the book. It's not going to work, because at the end of the night, I'm going to still be your World Heavyweight Champion. Kind of like the idea, just like the idea. Basically, Christian's try and basically Christian reminds him how he used to be, self-centered and egotistical. And I like the idea of basically like going, you're going to try that tonight with the stipulation, but it's not going to work, and I'm going to still be your World Heavyweight Champion. So that's awesome. So obviously you got 71 there. Interesting to see what score gets for the match later on in this night. So obviously after that we talk to Brie Bella, so it's going against Kelly for the Divas Championship, and kind of I like kind of inferring that basically like she's going to prove that women wrestling is more than just eye candy, basically, for a 62. That's actually really good, actually. Obviously I think the Divas scores are quite good in here, or the women's in here, so I'm intrigued to see what I can do with that in the future. But so I like the idea of obviously Beth was hearing stories talking about all the women just being like pretty faces and can't wrestle, and tonight she's going to show the world that basically the only person that can't wrestle is Kelly, and she would take that Divas Championship and she's going to make it great again, or make it great at some point. But yeah, I mean obviously it's Brie Bella, so it's interesting. I admit, but I don't know. I like that. Try and start the Divas Revolution or earlier than they did in real life. See if we can try and boost it up a little bit. So yeah, so obviously talking about that match. That match is next. Brie Bella, Kelly. Who's going to walk out with the Divas Championship? We'll find out right now. So let's find out. So let's see what score we get and who's going to become the new champion, or are we going to have a successful defense? Let's find out. And for 48, that's actually not bad. I wasn't expecting anything crazy. Obviously, Kelly is still, still your WWE Divas Champion with obviously a 10-minute match. 55 by Kelly, 44 by Brie Bella. Good, 48 is pretty good. My plan is to make that, like, if we can get to like 60s for the women at the end of this save, I will be very happy. Like, consistent 60s, I'll be happy with that. So yes, obviously the idea, I just want this, it's 10-minute match quick. I like the idea of the Trim Magic backfiring for Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. Kelly was able to get and obviously get a cheap roll up, get the win, and she is still your Divas Championship champion. I don't know. I mean, I could have gone. I can't remember. Like, Brie Bella was champion, but Divas Championship wasn't exactly like nobody cared about it back then. It's really sad, but it's the reality of 2011. Women's wrestling wasn't exactly high priority like it is kind of now. So, but yeah, I'm happy with that. 48, pretty good. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, as I said, I hope to get, see if I can try and build the women's division, because I've always tried it in most of my saves I've done before. And this save will be no different, so let's give it a go. So, yes, obviously, then we go backstage to CM Punk talking to Nexus, kind of doing an official ending of the group. For a 64. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting a great score, to be fair. But, yeah, I mean, what I didn't like about this, the situation of in real life, is just, like, even when he came out in the main event, it was still New Nexus, but we all knew that New Nexus didn't exist anymore, ever since the whole, my contract's running out type situation. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if he actually had a situation where they actually, officially split up? Like, Punk goes backstage, and he's like, saying to you guys, I don't need your help tonight, and kind of let them set them free, saying, I've given you all the tools to go out there to be the best in this industry. Go out there and prove why, why you are good as you are, type situation. And I just like, end the group, officially end it on screen. I don't like it when it's a kind of lazy story writing, when it's just like, oh, it just ends. Like, yeah, Punk doesn't need the Nexus anymore. It was always a means to an end. And now it's like he knows he doesn't need them anymore. So obviously, if they like that or not is another matter. But I like the idea of just being like a group. Yeah, the Nexus being free. Don't need Punk. Punk doesn't need them anymore. So I like the idea of it officially ending. Obviously, it got a 40-64. I mean, it's not going to get anything. Yeah, apparently I didn't do a good job booking it. Well, I tried, man. I'm new to this. Not really, but in this game I am. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good stuff here. So, yeah, so Nexus is no more on my save anyway. So then we go backstage to talk to The Big Show, talking about his big match between, ironically, against Mark Henry. Talking about there's only 2 alpha males for a nice, let's see if this does it. Here we go. For 74, pretty good there. Pretty happy with that. Yes, obviously, I like the Big Show basically saying that we're 2 alpha males. Well, I'm big, you're big, 2 alphas. Only one can leave tonight as the alpha. And it's basically they're going to beat the crap out of each other, and there's only going to be one person leaving out, and that's going to be The Big Show. So, yeah, it's also going to be setting up a really big match between these two. I'm intrigued to see what kind of score it gets for 74. Good stuff there. So, who's going to win? Mark Henry or Big Show? Let's find out in the next segment. So, who's going to win this match? And the winner is, for 51, not great, but okay, so obviously the Mark Henry basically won with a basically World Strongest Slam. I like the idea of that. Big power moves. I like the idea that basically Mark Henry trying to hit his finisher throughout the match, but he can't do it. But near the end, with that Big Show's hit his finisher, Mark Henry kicks out, and then basically Mark Henry finally hits the World Strongest Slam on the Big Show, gets the win. Boom. So like a kind of storyline of basically he's too big. Big Show's too big for him. But eventually he's just able to muster the strength to hit the World Strongest Slam and take him out. 67 by Mark Henry, 74 by Big Show. Should have got better, but apparently the match, lack of selling on display. I mean, it seemed off his game. Okay, fair enough. I mean, but 51's a bit harsh, but again, it's fine. It's not like a feud that I'm really going to really continue to pursue, to be fair. I think it kind of ends here. So, we'll find out. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't want to pursue this feud. I think this is a good way to end it. But obviously, after this match, Mark Henry isn't finished with the Big Show, and obviously does something that's despicable after the match. For a 70, loved this, got a big pop, loving it. Basically, the match not good, but the thing in the end, I'm really happy with that. 70, I'm really happy. Basically, I like the angle. Basically, you got, Mark Henry hitting World Strong Slam on Big Show off the ramp. I was going to see him try and lift him, but even he's not that strong, and it's kind of unbelievable. Like, certain people he can lift up, but yeah, he basically chucked him off the stage. Big Show's going to be out for a while, and basically Mark Henry shows how this man is a dominant force, and no one wants to mess with Mark Henry for 70, and I like in that. So yes, good stuff here. Obviously, then we go to the backstage where obviously The Miz is being interviewed about obviously his participation in the Raw Money in the Bank match, and obviously he's really interrupted by Alex Riley. We'll see where that goes. But let's see where 75. Very good. Very happy with that. So 75 here, obviously. I like the idea of basically the Miz talking about how it's been too long since he's challenged for the title. One of the greatest moments in Money in the Bank history, and when he basically won briefcase, cashed it in on Randy Orton, became WWE champion, and it's gonna happen again because he's the Miz and he's awesome. But I like the idea basically why he's doing it. Was it Alex Riley walking past? Obviously, he's getting ready for being involved in the match, the Raw Money in the Bank match. I'm laughing, saying that's not happening, mate. You're nothing, type situation. But that sets up the Raw Money in the Bank match with 7 again got set up. So I'm a bit worried about the score. 7 participants: Alberto Del Rio, Alex Riley, Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio, all fighting out to become more of Mr. Money Bank. So will I change it, or will I change it, or keep it exactly the same? Let's find out in the next segment. So for 44, a bit better, but it's still not going to be a high score. But yeah, Alberto Del Rio is your Mr. Money in the Bank. I know it's Alberto Del Rio, but I don't think any of them kind of. I could have put on like The Miz maybe or Alex Riley. But I don't know. Alberto Del Rio, I think, works. I think maybe I could do a better job by booking him because he's very uninterested during this era. He was champion like twice and he's like done nothing with it. So I'll see if I can try and do better. Maybe I can say make him people care about Alberto Del Rio. Maybe not the best person as a human being, but as a wrestler, and maybe I can make an interesting character at least. But yeah, obviously you got a lot of cool spots in this match. You got Evan Bourne jumping off the top ladder, shooting stance press. You got The Miz pushing being pushed off by Alex Riley, so obviously sets up maybe a feud there that I really want to explore. But basically, it's like Alex Riley looks like he's going to be the one. He's going to get the win, but then Alberto Del Rio, being the dickish heel, pushes him off. He gets the win. He gets the briefcase. He is your Mr. Money in the Bank. Will he cash in later like he did in real life? We don't know. But yeah. So 44. Obviously you got 75 by Alberto Del Rio, 81 by Rey Mysterio. But yeah, some good scores here. 61, 70. They're good, solid scores. Forgot how a lot of good talent he had back then in 2011. So 44. Happy with that. And then obviously we've got a segment backstage. Obviously Brazil backstage with his win. And and obviously John Laurinaitis comes to approach him, and kind of like situation, Vince wants to speak to you now, and kind of it's more on the nose than Prime Film Real Life, but I want like the idea. It's basically like Vince is like, I think we know what his plan might be tonight to make sure Punk doesn't walk out with that championship if Cena fails to beat him tonight. So yes, obviously that's for night 66. I know it's John Laurinaitis, but he is his right-hand man at this point in the stage, so I have to do it. But Alberto Del Rio have done well here, so got good boost, colour commentator working it. I like it. 66, not a bad segment, so yeah. So obviously after that we go to talk to Christian, being interviewed before his big match against Randy Orton for that World Heavyweight Championship. And he's basically talking about how he wants to come out of the shadow. His long-time friend, Edge. For 73, still good. That's still a good score. I'm liking that. Apparently he's not good at improv, but that's really silly because it's Christian. Of course he's good at improv. Silly game. But yes, also like there's a Christian all talking down to him, obviously after he basically got handed that championship opportunity by his friend Edge, and basically every single time given a shot and he loses. And I like he wants to come out of the shadows and make sure that everyone talks about not being the past tense. And basically he's going to do anything to win that title tonight, and he's going to walk out and everyone's going to talk about Christian and not about Edge or Randy Orton. It's going to be Captain Charisma, Christian. It's going to be your World Heavyweight Champion. So obviously for 73, I'm intrigued to see if he gets the match of the night. Got potential to, because in real life we know how great those matches were in that feud, so I'm intrigued to see where it goes. So Randy Orton, Christian, World Heavyweight Championship match. With obviously I do lose, the stipulation is still there where Christian, if Randy Orton loses his temper or attacks, does anything to get disqualified, anyway, Christian becomes your World Heavyweight Champion. So let's see what happens. Have we changed it? Have we kept it the same? Let's find out. And the winner of the match is, for 69, Randy Orton. I changed it a bit. I know how it sounds like Christian winning it, but obviously in real life he won it and then lost the night before. So why not just let him lose it here? And then that could start a story in the future that I've got a plan for it. So I've got a plan. There's a plan for this. But yes, obviously 70 by Christian, 78 by Randy Orton. A good charisma. Christian was off his game. A lot of people off his game in this show. I'm kind of disappointed, actually. But 69, very good. The way this match was supposed to go was, I like the idea of basically Randy Orton lose his temper. Was it lose his temper, but the ref is down. So Christian should be champion, so he's got another reason to be annoyed. But obviously, when Christian gets the ref up, Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere. Boom, 1, 2, 3. 20-minute match. Still your World Heavyweight Champion. I just think Christian, he won the title, lost it, and then just kept losing. So why not, not have him win the title, make it that's his mission? So maybe he might win it, maybe he won't. But Christian, he needs a world championship, but his best runs have always been when he doesn't have the championship. Well, I say that as recording. He's having his best run as a TNT champion on AEW with the Christian and basically hating on everyone's fathers and family members and his feud with Edge. But yeah, but I don't know. I just don't think it'll. I think it's better if he doesn't, and Randy can maybe have his feuds and Christian can do his own thing. Because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong with this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the decision. But yeah, so Randy Orton, still your World Heavyweight Champion. But the funny thing is, Christian is not happy about this. And for an H2, and basically isn't happy and attacks the ref, hits the unpretty on the ref, and obviously a lot of refs come out, check the ref, obviously he gets escorted out, and yeah, there's going to be consequences for that action. For an H2, I'm happy with that, for attacking the ref and losing his temper. All this talk about Randy losing his temper, but Christian lost his, and it's probably going to cost him. It's going to cost him dear. So we're almost in the main event, but before we get to the main event, we're going to go Vince being asked what that Buster Will was talking about, and basically situation trying to ask him, what are you planning tonight for a 90? Wow, I'm loving that. A 90 segment. Wow, I never got a 90 in any of the saves I got before, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yes, obviously this one is a situation of Vince being asked about the Buster Will situation. Punk, I like the idea of Vince is saying nothing, trying to speak, and Punk's just looking, smiling, going, oh, you sag it. What are you doing? You scared a little of me taking your title, and kind of walks out. Obviously, I'm going to put this just before, the main event, just before, they both come out. So it's Punk's walking towards the stage type thing. Because I like kind of backstage stuff like that. NXT done it a lot back in the day, and I like it. And WWE done it as well back in the Attitude Era as well. So I like it. But yes, obviously Punk's done good here. There were all three people in this segment done well, but apparently the announcers could have done better, and yeah, I was surprised by that, but hey, what do I know? But 90, really happy with that. So the question is, am I going to change it? Is Punk going to be champion? Is John Cena going to win? What's the segment? We're going to change anything of it? That's find out for that one. That's find out in the main event. WWE Championship online. John Cena, CM Punk. Obviously in real life, it's Chicago. I forgot to change it on there, but he's in Chicago. And who's going to win? Is it going to change? Let's find out. So who's going to be your WWE champion? And the winner is 71. Wow, I am very annoyed by that. But yes, obviously CM Punk, I'm not going to change that. It's one of the biggest moments in wrestling history, CM Punk winning Chicago. I'm not going to change that. 90 and 94, but you only get a 71. Maybe the match dragged at the end too long and the workers kept all out pace going. I mean, it's around about the same price. This game's sometimes really harsh. The crowd are into it. It should have got better, but I'm disappointed with that a little bit. 71. But yeah, but this one I haven't put any notes to change it because it is perfection. I'm not changing anything from it. Punk, I like the idea basically. Vince, yeah, you know the ending. Vince comes out, tries to get the ref to do a macho screw job. John Cena clotheslines John Laurinaitis. John Cena's not that way. Goes in, hits John Cena. CM Punk hits the GTS, hits it on Cena, 1, 2, 3. He gets the championship. But in this, only a little bit different here is that it's more, that Vince is okay, he's going to at some point call for Alberto Del Rio to come out to cash in. And obviously we know how that ended in real life, and it was exactly the same with that. So 71. Let's see if the last segment gets a good score for a 74. I'm disappointed about that, but it's fine. It's pretty good, but I feel for that match is really hard done. But in real life, it was one of the best matches, and it's amazing. So 74, basically, yeah, Alberto Del Rio tries to come out, tries to cash in, as Vince kind of calls in, but obviously Punk hits the kick, goes to the crowd, blows a kiss, and goes out leaves the company with the WWE Championship in tow. Vince is embarrassed. What will happen on Raw? We'll find out. But yeah, so I didn't want to change it too much because the arrogance of me to believe that I can make that better. Nah, it's perfection. It's great, and it sets up what I want to do anyway. So because there were good moments of that feud. So 74 end of the show. What are we gonna get? What's our score? I'm going to predict probably if we get a high 60, maybe 72, 70, I'll be happy. If it's any lower than that, I'll be very disappointed. But yeah, let's find out what this my first to buy Summer Punk save gets. Let's see if he gets a good score. So let's find out. Well, 64, that's harsh. That's very harsh. Look at all them 70, 74, 71. Maybe the match is disappointed. We did have a lot of 40s, but yeah, I mean, we've got 90. We only got 64. Maybe it's because I haven't put any like storylines going yet. So maybe that's probably the field in with storylines. So maybe that's a bit harsh. But I didn't want to start booking storylines until I actually start booking my own stuff. So obviously the first time. So 64, not great. But it's something to build on. But in real life, this obviously we know that in real life, the score doesn't matter. Real life, the show is amazing. So yes, obviously I've done a little 1 or 2 changes. Nothing crazy. So 64, I'm happy with it in a sense, but really not. I wish if we got like a 70 on my first showing, I would have been very happy. But it can only get better, I think. So be interested. I hope you guys have got interesting Raw in the next episode. So yeah, 64, happy with that, sort of. But yeah, 64. That's the way it is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, 64. I wasn't expecting a really big score because obviously, as I said in the game, I didn't put any storylines, so obviously that's going to affect the score. But as I said, I kind of didn't want to like put any storylines that I haven't done because I want to do storylines afterwards. So 64 is fine. Obviously, it can only get better. Obviously, I got some really good like 79s, 80s in some of the segments that I'm not used to getting. Because obviously, in my modern day one, I think I got that once or twice. Never even got that high. So in this one, hopefully, I can get the kind of 90s and the 80s quite regularly. Hopefully, I can get some of the matches up there as well. Obviously, I got 71 for my the main event for CM Punk and John Cena. Obviously, in real life, that probably would have got a 90 because they both got 90s and 91s. I would have got an 80 and 90. Obviously, with the storyline, maybe would have helped. But it's fine. I've got plans for that. So so a good start. Obviously, there's more to come. This is only just the beginning. So if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, please like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated. Obviously, please give this a comment as well. Love to hear your thoughts on how you think this went. So so obviously I'll be back with episode 2 where we're going to do the Raw after Money in the Bank, and obviously we know what happened in real life, and we're going to do the same, or we're going to do something a little bit different. You just have to find out. Obviously that'll be out hopefully in the next week or so. Hopefully the plan is to be doing every Wednesday release. Obviously that could depend. Obviously I'm going to put it on my Twitter and stuff like that at Stuart Irvine 91, as well as my Instagram at Irvine Stewart. Obviously the opposite. Links will be in the description below. So I think it's a good episode. 64, not great, but I know I could do better because I've got a big plan. So let's see what happens. So until next time, hope you can join me for episode 2. So and have a good rest of your day, everyone. See you later. Bye.